Welcome to the first ever podcast of the Unfiltered podcast. A podcast where nothing is filtered, like in the name. So you pull up your big boy pants and be ready to listen to the most outrageously stupidest thing ever. Or you can leave right now and don't listen to something stupid. This is the first ever podcast. It is like 4 days after Christmas. So we're going to talk about Christmas. New Year's Eve is in 2 days. That means the new year, new me, new everybody is coming in 3 days. On Thursday is when 2026, the big 2-6 happens. This is going to be weird because I always say the big 2-5. Now saying the big 2-6? Like, who? That's going to be weird. Like, it's like writing the date on a school paper. Like, you're always going to write the date. And the first few times the new school year, you write 2025, but it's actually 2026. Just random thoughts because, I'm talking about random things. This is a random podcast. Welcome to the most random podcast. And if you're finding this first ever episode, I don't know how you found this because this is random as fuck. So we're going to talk about Christmas gifts. Merry Christmas to the FaZe clan. Yeah, you're not even existing anymore because you just don't want to exist. We're going to talk about that. It's actually pretty crazy. We're going to talk about the NFL and college football playoffs. And then Chester got a question. Chester, ChatGPT. Yes, I call it Chester. It's 2020 fucking 5. You got a problem with me calling fucking AI Chester? Get out. You're done with society. You're cooked. You're going to get canceled. And then New Year's. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing New Year's. The next podcast, we're going to talk about fucking New Year, new me, new resolutions that we're going to do for 2 weeks. And then just say fuck it and quit. Let's just get right into it. Christmas gifts. This is the first time in a little while that I've been hyped for Christmas. Not because my family's assholes and they don't give me gifts. No, they give me gifts. I just don't know what the fuck to ask for. Ho, 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 Santa Claus. I don't know what the fuck to ask you fat ass. No, my sister's in grade 6. She still believes in this fucking white fat ass Rudolph the Red-Nosed fucking reindeer. Our elf's still here for some reason. We gotta put him up soon. Cause, let me know in the comments, when does this Christmas tree come up? Christmas tree comes up the day after Thanksgiving. Anything earlier, you're fucking dumb. And this is the problem with the society. Because everybody's like, oh, it could go up after fucking Halloween. No. I'm still eating my candy, getting ready for fucking Thanksgiving, thanking all the pilgrims and everything. We're not putting up the tree. No way, Jose. I get a whole ass week off. Most people get a half a week off for Thanksgiving. We're going to be thankful for getting no school, no work. And that means no Christmas tree up until the day after Thanksgiving. And then you leave it up for probably a week, maybe 2 max after Christmas. Shit, there goes my slipper. All right. So, yeah, that's how it works. Usually, we go out of town for Thanksgiving, see the old family, and then when we come back that weekend, usually Saturday or Sunday, that's when we put the Christmas stuff up. So, a half a week after, a couple days after Thanksgiving, the Christmas stuff's up, and then the New Year's day numero uno of the big new year, we take down all the Christmas stuff. Partially because my sister plays 2 sports. I play a heavily good sport, baseball. Jam-packed schedule. We have no other time besides New Year's. Mom owns a business, so she's working her ass off. Shout out my mom. So we don't got time to pull down all this Christmas stuff. And my dad definitely ain't fucking pulling down pretty sparkly Christmas trees and shit. That's my mom and sister's job. Christmas gifts. Got this beautifully good jersey. Yes, it's big, but we're saving money. Who the fuck wants the jersey that's up to here that you're never going to use but for 2 weeks? Sidney Crosby. Best fucking player there is. Sid the Kid. I'm a Pittsburgh fan. That's actually a Detroit sign. Yes, I'm not a Detroit fan. We went to the home opener when they played the Steelers last year. And that was actually my first ever NFL game. Pirates. So there's the Steelers thing right there. And we got a Pirates sign back there. The Pirates are ass. Hey, I'm a baseball fan. Baseball runs in the family. They were going to be pretty good this year. We're starting to get some offense. Bob nutting his ass off, nutting. Who the fuck names their last name Nutting? Oh, Bob Nutting. Like, what the fuck? He's starting to actually get, make some money, make some moves, spend some money. We got the top 5 pitching staff. Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Bubba Chandler, who was number 3 overall prospect in minor leagues. And then Jared Jones last year. No, 2 years ago, he was top 5 in the minor leagues prospect. He was injured last year. But 2 years ago, he made his MLB debut, did freaking great. Paul Skeens, Livy Dunn's boyfriend, best pitcher in the fucking league. And then we got some other young guys in the minor leagues that we're going to pull up. And then we got the number 1 overall prospect, Connor Griffin. He'll be up this year. Offense is looking great. Don't get me started on it. Because I can talk for days. So Christmas gifts, yes. Got the freaking Crosby jersey. Got some slippers. Now these are indoor slippers. They don't really have any cushion because why do you need cushion in slippers? You're not wearing them outside. I got like some outdoor slippers that my sister got me. Shout out my sister. They're at the lake, so we can't show those. And then I got some burgundy stogs. I don't know how the fuck you say that. Some German shit. German. They're uncomfortable as fuck. But guess what? It's fashion. So we got some of those. And then we got a pin. Now we're not fucking spending $200 on a worthless Apple pen when you can get some fucking Amazon for $5, $10, and it works just as fine. So that's what I wanted. And then I also asked for sweatpants because, I'm a freshman in high school. Starting to, value pants and stuff and socks and stuff. I'm a quote-unquote weird kid, according to everybody. I like the color, like the flavored socks, like the Cheeto socks, like food-flavored socks. People think it's weird. It's my thing, so I get a shit ton of those. I have 2 drawers full of food and candy socks. Call me weird, I don't care. What else did I get? That was mainly the big Christmas gifts, We got some... Oh, I got baseball stuff, yeah. Play baseball. I'm forgetting about that. Got a leg guard, Evo leg guard. Don't got an elbow guard because I can't fucking swing with that shit. Hell no. Then I got a sliding mitt because, when you're on the fucking bench, you don't get in the game. You don't need a fucking slide. And I'm slow as shit, so I'm not bench running. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm a PO life. I actually play. I'm the fucking coach's kid. So, and I'm not like the average coach's kid. My dad just sits my ass on the bench and, fucking put me in. I'm actually a good pitcher. Throw slow, but I throw strikes, get people out. So, yeah, I'm like top 3 on the team. And statistics back it up. I'm not glazing myself. So I'm a half decent pitcher, but I'm fucking ass at everything else. I actually batted like 300 last season at the plate. Didn't have a single double. Fucking contact. Backside, just over the second baseman's head. That's what you like to see. Contact. So no power in this bad baby. Fucking zero muscles. The muscles go down. They don't go up. That's how fucking weak I am. So that's basically what Christmas. Got some shoes, clothes, jersey, baseball stuff, Apple Pen. Let's get into the meat and fucking potatoes. Because, meat and potatoes, they actually don't go well. I like potatoes. But there's some meat, like, what the fuck is it called? Pot roast. The roast, absolutely shit. The beef, no flavor, just shit. And I hate onions, and there's always onions in it. I'll just eat the potatoes and carrots because I hate vegetables, but I'll eat vegetables in there because the meat's ass. So let's get into the meat potatoes. FaZe Clan, gone. The Christmas of 2025 FaZe Clan might be done for good. Now, they tried to bring it back. They brought Lacey, Jason DeWeen, Silky, Kason, Rage, Stable Ronaldo, all those guys, Playboy Max, FaZe Brinks, brought them back, and it was going good. They've been back for 2 years. Everything was going good. They shared a house. Everything was bonding. Max left in August, and then Banks left a month after Max because there was a dispute. I'm going to talk about that. But on Christmas, Ron, Lacey, Rage, Kason, Silky, Swag, and Jason all tweeted, left at FaZe. They all tweeted the same thing. Each of them tweeted an hour after each other, so it was an hour on the dot each hour. Everybody's like, oh, ho, ho, Merry Christmas. Y'all FaZe always wanted attention. Very funny. And then Adapt was the last person to tweet out, and everybody's like, oh, shit, this is serious. Adapt leaving, 14-year-old member, one of the oldest members. He was the oldest member in the FaZe clan at that point, and one of the oldest all time, said he was leaving after 14 years. Other FaZe members, they left later on, most notably FaZe Rug. But, yeah, like I said, Playboy Max left in August. He wanted to pursue everything else, and starting to get into music, wasn't streaming that much, so you can see why. Now, Banks left a month after Playboy Max. There was dispute. People didn't like him. He was probably getting a little greedy, I heard, because, he didn't like the talent that was there, even though he brought it on. Because, you bring on the talent, but you don't... It doesn't make sense. You bring it on. You saw the talent. You must just be jealous. Banks looks like a piece of shit all tatted up. Definitely a kid that gets jealous easily. And this is what he said on his tweet. That these are ungrateful people. He used all his money. Now he's basically broke. Has no money bringing the clan back. He brought the clan back. Didn't make them pay a single dime for the house. None of that for all the managers, staff, and stuff like that. Now, excuse me. It was speculated that Banks left because of dispute with Playboy Max, but also other members, mainly Max, just because he was jealous. Like I said, he was jealous of the talent. Well, that's not what it said. He had beef because of the talent, but it just makes it seem like you're jealous. Now, Banks said that they are ungrateful and that they are like Hollywood actors. They don't actually fuck with each other, but on camera they say they're really good friends and they mess with each other, but they actually don't. And he also said, like I said, they're ungrateful. They got free housing, staff, managers, all of the FaZe channels. They had all access to that, and they had 0% income shared, so everything was free. Here's the problem, though. It's an openly and publicly shared clan. So Matt Kalish, none of y'all know who that was until a few days ago, probably. But he is pretty widely known in the gambling community, probably, because he's the founder of DraftKings, like a top 5 most notable gambling website for sports gambling. You got BetMGM, FanDuel, Prize Picks, ESPN, Bet. DraftKings definitely top 5, maybe top 3, some could say. Now, Matt Kalish, he has 51% of FaZe Clan. So he's the minority holder. Now, Kalish wanted 20% of the FaZe members. Well, he wanted 20% of the FaZe members' paycheck. Now, these people are like, hell no. That's $20 out of 100. So if they're making $1,000 per month, but probably a lot more, you got to give 20 grand up. That's a shit ton of money. And you're paying rent, which is $70,000 per month. That's a lot of money just having to pay rent. And then if you guys give up 20% of already giving up that, you basically are losing 50% of your monthly paycheck. So that's why. Now he claims that they didn't make enough money for the clan. So he needed money to make more money, but the streamers weren't going to get as much. He needed money for the housing, staff, stuff like that, so he could make a profit, but the streamers aren't going to get as much. Now, if you're the streamers, why are you just going to hand out money for free? You're basically handing out money for free. Because when you signed on, you weren't known about this. Nobody told you that 2 years down the road, you're going to have to give up 20% of your money. So, you're not forced to sign this. This just pops out of nowhere. Who's just going to give money out for free? Your hard-earned money. That's just common sense. Money is key in this world. Everything revolves around money. So if you're randomly just going to get asked to give up 20% of your hard-earned money for no reason, nobody's going to do that. Nobody in the fucking right mind is going to do that. So now all the streamers leave. Now, remember, Banks left 4 months ago. And I says, oh, I have nothing to do with this. He's playing bullshit. Now, Hardscope is owned by Kalish, one of the agencies, and Kalish owns FaZe. He's minority owner of FaZe. And Banks works in Hardscope. We don't know where he works. He's probably higher up because him and Kalish are really good pals. Because Kalish trusts Banks. So maybe Banks doesn't have FaZe in his title anymore, but he works for Hardscope. Hardscope's owned by Kalish. Hardscope works with FaZe. That's FaZe's like main sponsor, I would guess. What does Hardscope do? Hardscope, it's like an ad agency with streamers. The streamers give percentage of their money to Hardscope, but the streamers' life gets easier because they get managers, staff, equipment, stuff like that. So basically, what Kalish wanted FaZe to do is basically link up with Hardscope so they give her a percentage of their money, even though they're not really benefiting in return because they already have the stuff. They already have the staff, managing, equipment, housing, free everything. But now they have to give up the 20% randomly. Everything just pops out of nowhere, and they're not really benefiting because they already have this stuff for free. Why are they just going to randomly just give 20% of their money while getting nothing in return? Now, if you connect the puzzle pieces, FaZe Banks very, very likely has something to do with all this. Because, he don't fuck with these people. He don't like them. He don't fuck with FaZe Clan. He's getting a little jealous. This is strike 2. And in some games, you don't get 3 strikes till you're out. I just don't see how FaZe bounces back. Everybody's leaving. Your old heads are leaving like Rug and Adapt. The new heads have left. How are you going to bounce back? You're going to get fucking 14-year-olds to join the clan? You're going to take a 6-year hiatus? Nuh-uh. In this game, it's 2 strikes and you're out. It's not 3 strikes. I see FaZe. They're evaporating. They're gone quick. Banks was like the leader of this all, and he already left. So I think FaZe is gone. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think FaZe is cooked. I don't think it's coming back. It's just my prerogative. Let's move on. Let's head on to the NFL. NFL. I'm a big Steelers fan. Fucking ass. The standard is the standard, Mike Tomlin says. And the standard is we fucking lose to the Cleveland Browns. What? In the last 4 years on the road, we've got like 1 win against Cleveland on the road. We also lost in 2020 at home in a playoff game to Cleveland. We're fucking shit against the shitty-ass Browns. Browns, 0-4 against divisional rival, or in the division. Shedeur Sanders is at the helm, and you don't score a fucking touchdown. You lose 10-6. That was like a fucking high-scoring baseball game. It did not look like no damn football game. We're starting to finally drive. We find Penn State alum. I'm a Penn State fan. We're starting to find the big white guy, Pat Freiermuth, down the field. He gets like 50 yards on 2 catches. First and goal, and caught, gets out of bounds. Second, third, fourth and goal, all to NVS. The new, he just got called up from the practice squad. Marcus Valdes-Scantling, he played on the Chiefs for a little bit. He was on the Super Bowl team 2 years ago. We called him up from the practice squad 2 weeks ago. He has a touchdown last week. That's cute. He doesn't have but like 3 receptions this last game. Then we go to him 3 straight times with the division on the line, and he fucking sucks. He's ass. The first play almost gets interception because he runs the opposite direction. Second play, horrible throw by Rodgers. He was shit. This is why he needs to retire, because he really showed himself today. He was fucking ass. Underthrows Scantling. Then the third play, 1-on-1. Scantling's like fucking 5'11". Now, there might have been DPI because the cornerback didn't turn around, but why are we throwing to Scantling in the first place? Right through his hands, because basically he can't see because there's a fucking helmet right in his face because he's too small. So now we got to play the Ravens at home Sunday Night Football. We're getting about to get ass clapped because the Ravens just put belt to ass at Lambeau, and they found the key. Use fucking Derrick Henry. Who would have thought just using Derrick Henry every single time would make life easier. The best running back in the league for multiple years. Not right now, but he's been one of the most consistently best power backs in the league. So we're about to get ass clapped. TJ Watt was out for fucking 3 weeks because, we just want to put a needle through his lung or something like that. Now he's got to come back and try to stop Derrick Henry. Great. He might fucking collapse on the field. I hope not. He's our best player. But sorry, bud. And then we probably got to play the Texans, who are going to be on a hot streak, or fucking the Chargers. Probably the Texans if we do win the division, which we're probably not going to do anyways. So, we lose to the Browns, can't clinch the division. And if we don't clinch the division, we finish 0-2 to end the season. We lose to the Browns. Mike Tomlin's got to get fired. I don't give a fuck about your 10-7, 9-8 records every single year. We get first rounded, can't win the division for fuck's sake against the Browns. We go 9-8. We always get like the fucking 20th pick because we always finish 10-7. Gets bounced in the first round. Haven't had a playoff win in 10 years. Make it fucking 11 because we're ass. We're ass. We don't have a fucking quarterback. We got the best defense in the league. Can't do shit. We let up fucking 40 points every game. And the offense is shit. We lost to Joe Flacco earlier this year. Now we lose to fucking Shador Sanders. We're ass. Now, we're either going to get belt ass or we're going to manage to pull off a scary one against the Ravens because Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry is going to fumble. Or they're just going to sell. I think we're going to get belt ass. We can trade Tomlin for a fucking first-round draft pick to the Giants. Let Giants get their fucking savior head coach. This is what I would do. Either get the first-round draft pick and get a top 3 pick, get a quarterback, or you trade Tomlin, get a second-round draft pick, and get Shador Sanders. All right, fuck. Jackson Dart. Get Jackson Dart. Get Dart over here. We'll be chilling. We'll just get Marcus Freeman or some other fucking head coach from college to go to the NFL. I guarantee you Marcus Freeman would love to leave Notre Dame after they got left out of this college football playoff and go coach Jackson Dart and the best defense in the league in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love that. Get a quarterback, trade Mike Tomlin, get Marcus Freeman. We're going to fucking win Super Bowls. That's my prerogative. Now the refs, like I said, there should have been defensive pass interference. Refs got to make everything about them. Bullshit calls. It's not even in the Steelers game, but it was really at the pinnacle in these primetime games. 4:30 slate. It's the last slate. Everybody's watching the last drive. Can the Lions come back against the Steelers? And then the refs got to make everything about them. Last play of the game, offensive pass interference, which it was. It was definitely offensive pass interference. But the refs got to talk for 3 minutes, make everything about them, make the Lions lose. They get eliminated from the playoffs, partially because they're ass. And then the refs, they just walk off the field. They have a discussion for 3 minutes, talk about random shit. Don't go to review. Game's over because the clock runs out, and everything's about the ref. Again, big primetime mistakes because the refs got to make everything about them. Because the refs' contract is up after this year, and they want to get good money, good job. Makes sense. But can you stop making everything about you? Because nobody gives a fuck about you. We'll ask fucking Chester and ChatGPT to just start refereeing our games so the games actually become good and fair. Because these refs now are blind and ass. I do applaud the NFL for giving blind people a job. Because these refs are fucking blind. They can't see shit. That's my rant. Now, week 17, we got 3 games, 3 crucial games. That's really it. NFC West. Winner of the Seahawks at 49ers will get the 1 seed and get a bye and host they'll host the first round game, and if they make it to the NFC Championship, they'll host the NFC Championship. Levi Stadium's going to be rocking. Guess what? They also host the Super Bowl. So, hypothetically, the 49ers could host, after they get a bye, if they beat the Seahawks, they get a bye, they host the semifinals, conference championship, and then they host the Super Bowl. How the fuck is that fair? We got to start making this. Now, I know the NFL's got to schedule the location bowl ahead of time. But a few years ago, the Rams won the Super Bowl in their home stadium because they played in SoFi. Now, I know they got to win multiple games to even get there. and the chances of that happening is very, very rare. But I think the Buccaneers did the same thing a few years ago when they had Brady and won the Super Bowl. They played in their home stadium. And it could happen for the third time if the 49ers go to the Super Bowl again. I think the 49ers, just like last year, Sam Darnold, division on the line at Lions, sucked it up. I think they do it again. Actually, no, because the 49ers are super injury riddled. They let up like 38 points last night. They let up like 37 to Philip Rivers. So I think the Seahawks, they squeak out a win. I think their defense locks in. Their offense has been really good. JSN, I think he's like a little over, he's in between 110 and 120 receiving yards to pass Calvin Johnson's record for most receiving yards in a regular season. Hopefully he does that. I think he'll pass it. He had 67 yards? Yeah, 7 yards against the Panthers, so didn't do too well. I think he's got it, though. He needed like 160, 170 yards in the next 2 weeks against Carolina and the 49ers to pass Megatron's record, and I think he'll get it. Also, so that's Saturday night. There's 2 games Saturday. The game before that, the 4:30 slot, 4:30 for the division, is Panthers at Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers have to win. If they win, they're in. If they lose, they're out. Now, if the Panthers lose, the Monday Night Football game is Rams at Falcons. Falcons are eliminated. But if the Falcons go 2-0, they beat the Rams magically somehow, and they beat the red-hot Saints at home, they finish 8-9. Buccaneers win, they're 8-9. Panthers win, or Panthers lose against Buccaneers, they're 8-9 also. Now it goes down to divisional record. Panthers and Buccaneers have the same divisional record, same head-to-head because they both go 1-1. Goes down to conference, or they go down to common opponents. And if the Falcons go 2-0, the Panthers have a better record against common opponents. So the Falcons, if they do go 2-0, they can help out the Panthers. And so the Panthers won't have to. So if the Panthers do lose and the Falcons go 2-0, the Panthers clinch the division. Now the Panthers will probably have to win because the Falcons are probably not beating the Rams. Now if they do somehow beat the Rams tonight, the Panthers are still going to have to lock in because they play the Saturday game. So the Falcons play the day after, so they still have to. They don't want to risk losing and then the Falcons losing also against the Saints if they do magically somehow beat the Rams. That was confusing. And I was talking to my Panthers fan, or like my friend who's a Panthers fan, and he was confused when I was texting him too. It's hard to explain, but the Panthers, likely they win, they're in, they lose, they're out. Buccaneers, they have to win or else they're out. Or yeah, there's nothing for them if anybody goes 2-0 or 0-2. The Buccaneers either have to win and they're in, lose, they're out. And then the Sunday Night Football game next week is Steelers-Ravens, one of the most intense rivalries in all of football, and it's at Pittsburgh. You know it's going to be rowdy there, but if they're getting belt to ass, fire Tomlin chants are going to be happening, and I think Tomlin finally gets canned. So Tomlin's job's probably on the line. Division's on the line. Fucking divisional rivalry game. We're going to see some punches probably. Hard grit running between Jaylen Warren, Derrick Henry. Should be a good one. Fucking Aaron Rodgers. Probably last year in the NFL. Could be last game in the NFL. Never know what could happen. Now, let's go on to Chester's Got a Question. ChatGPT gives me a question. What's the dumbest thing I've ever spent money on? Now, I love playing Clash Royale. Now, Clash Royale is starting to die. And I'm not a fucking pay to win. I'm not a weird-ass kid like all these other kids. So I actually save my money on valuable things. Except for one time, I spent like fucking $20 on some like random out. I spent like $20 on some shitty ass ice cream or something like that. And it was ass. Spent $20. Me and my friend got the worst ice cream I've ever tasted. So that was pretty wasteful. There's nothing that really sticks out to me. But like, probably spending random money on like toys or something like that you'll never use. You'll use one time and that's it. That's probably the dumbest thing I ever spent money on. Now, New Year's. Next podcast, I'm going to talk about New Year, New Me. That's probably going to be the title of next episode. We're just going to talk about New Year's. Good memories that I had last year. That's what we're going to talk about. New Year's Eve, I think my friends are coming over. You ever seen triplets? I am really good friends with triplets. I've never seen any other triplets besides these three guys. They hopefully are coming over to my house. We still got to get that situated, but hopefully they do come over to my house. That's what I'm going to be doing for New Year's Eve, having friends over. Let me know what you're doing for New Year's Eve. See you guys in the next video. New Year, New Me. That's the next video. That's the next episode. See you then.